you Guinea scientists. You can wave back at me today. Hi. I'm so excited to do science with you on the computer today. I know that you have been very curious about the ocean. I know that you've been wondering what kind of animals live in the ocean and what makes the ocean the ocean. I have a globe here. This is a globe that shows our planet Earth. We live here on planet Earth. When I look at this globe, I notice there's a lot of one color. What color do you see a lot of? Say it out loud. I notice there's a lot of the color blue. The reason there is so much blue on our planet is because planet Earth has a lot of ocean on it. All this blue that you see is the ocean. And the ocean is really, really big. So it covers most of our planet. The type of water that's in the ocean is salt water. The type of water that you drink from the sink is fresh water. Your body can't drink salt water, but there are lots of animals and plants that live in salt water in the ocean. Things like whales, dolphins, saltwater fish, coral, and lots of other different animals and plants live in salt water. Their bodies are made to live in salt water. Their habitat is in salt water. The things they eat are there. The things that they live in are there. And something very special about salt water is that it helps animals float in the water and not sink to the bottom of the ocean. The salt in the salt water helps animals float in the water and not sink to the bottom. I think that's kind of cool. So what I thought we could do today for science is we could do an experiment. Thumbs up if you're ready to try to learn how to do an experiment. Nice. For our experiment today, we are going to have 2 glasses of water. One is going to be a glass of fresh water from the sink, and the other glass we are going to turn into salt water. The salt water will make it be like the ocean, which has salt water in it. One will be fresh water, and one glass will be salt water. What we're going to do to turn one into salt water is we're going to fill up our measuring cup with salt, and then I'm going to pour it in to one of my glasses, my salt water glass, and then I'm going to stir the salt into the water with a spoon. I'm going to add a little bit more salt to make sure it's really salty like the ocean. And then I'm going to stir it up. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how salt helps things float. Let's make a prediction together. I'm going to pretend that my jewel is a fish. Do we think that my pretend fish is going to sink or float in the salt water? Do you think it will sink or float in the salt water? Say it out loud. Now, do you think it will sink or float in the fresh water? Say it out loud. Let's find out what happens. When I put my jewel into the fresh water, look at that. It went to the bottom. That means it sunk. what if I try in my salt water? I don't know if you can see very well, but my jewel is floating at the top of the salt water. The jewel I put into my fresh water sunk to the bottom, and the jewel that I have in my salt water is floating on the top. Just like fish and whales in the ocean, the salt helps keep them up so that they don't sink to the bottom. Wow, that's pretty cool. Would you all like to try this too? You get to do this science experiment today with Miss Sammy and Miss Kimberly. I brought all the materials you need to do this activity. Cups, jewels, salt, and you'll be able to learn how things can sink or float in salt water. Happy exploring, scientists! I'll see you later!